Thank you so much for tuning in to Awakening with Katina Love and segment on Inspiration Sunday. We are a conscious talk show to learn about self empowerment, the law of attraction, creating financial abundance, and natural health. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Awakening with Katina Love. Our special guest today is Audrey Rumbers, also known as Audrey Night. Today, we're going to talk about the power of organites. Welcome, Audrey. How are you?
I'm great, Katina. How are you doing?
I am awesome, awesome. Can't
Good.
wait to talk about your beautiful Audrey Nights,
Yes.
also known as
Audrey.
Organites.
Yes. Yes. My brand, my form of organite, I call Audronite.
Sweet. So, how
Mhm.
did you come up with that?
Well, first of all, I was studying organite and Wilhelm Reich and his idea, the concept of this universal energy that we can tap into to kind of manipulate the negative to the positive energies in our environment. And I started off making his type of organite, which is basically a resin and metal layering process. And because of my work at Wayne State University, I worked there for like 26 years. 20 of those years, I worked in the physics department. And
Hmm.
during that time, I worked on the largest quantum physics experiment that they're doing. It's an international collaboration that's being researched at CERN in Geneva, Switzerland. And CERN is a large laboratory. It's where the internet was developed. That's what CERN is. And this is where
Okay.
they're doing this quantum physics experiment. So they're talking about energies, tapping into different energies and things of this nature. Plus, I have been studying ancient Egypt and African cosmology and spirituality. And as hard as it may be to believe, all of these things connected for me, and
Mhm.
it was just unbelievable. So it just took me on this journey of discovery of what exactly this energy is and how we could tap into it for the benefit of Earth, positive benefit.
I love it because, I felt so drawn to you when I saw you a few weeks ago at the psychic fair in Arbor, Michigan. And I
Yes.
just saw these beautiful pieces on the table. I mean, all these different
Yeah.
colors. And it was, but I felt drawn before I even saw that. I just felt this energy, like
Mhm.
this pull to like come over and talk to you.
Well, I like you said about the law of attraction, and I believe that when you whatever you're putting out, you're going to get it back, and people of like mind and like spirit are going to be attracted to you, and we just resonate with each other. It's just a natural thing, and we really don't know why, but it's because we're all on this same frequency, on this same journey, and we just recognize each other.
Yes. And it's such a beautiful thing, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
But I
And my
love, I was just gonna say, I love your Audrey nights. They are so beautiful. I mean, you have purple, blue, orange, peach. I mean, they're just so beautiful and they're pyramid shaped.
yes,
And the ones that I got from you, I actually have the oval shaped ones. I have like four of
yes,
those. And I'm just
yes.
so grateful that I have these beautiful gifts.
Now, you see, I'll tell you about the ones that I gave you, because what I gave you was the little oval shaped ones are like pure organite. What I call those is analog organite,
Yeah.
and I call what I make is digital organite. And the
Uh-huh.
difference is that analog organite is heavy, metal laden. It's still it's a layering. It's the same layering process, but it's all metals in a crystal. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
my pyramids has more of a quantum physics kind of spin to it, because that's what I was involved in. Whereas
Right.
I took it to the next level and took it to a digital or piece by using fiber optics. And
Oh.
most people aren't familiar with fiber optics, but they're being used in business and with this all of these electronics that we're now using, because what they do, they're replacing copper, because fiber optics can conduct energy like copper on steroids. So it just
Oh.
to a whole nother level. So when I put fiber optics and they meet at the apex of my pyramid, what they're doing is focusing the energy that's coming from the rose quartz crystal, which is the main crystal that I put in my pyramids, because I'm trying to create a grid of positive energy,
Oh,
just one pyramid at a time.
this is beautiful. I am so glad you told me that because I didn't know the difference. I actually did not know.
And let me tell you, and the thing is, and the energy is not so much different. It's just the distance that it can travel. You know,
Oh, is that right?
you see, because the thing with fiber optics, light does not reflect off of fiber optics. Light travels through fiber optics. And that's the amazing thing, where you'll have a fiber optic strand that has light at both ends, because the light is actually traveling through. And while it's traveling through, it's carrying energy. Whatever energy is around, it's carrying that energy. And when I put that quartz crystal in the resin, it's carrying the energy from the quartz crystal. And I use rose quartz because I'm looking for a positive energy grid.
That's beautiful. So, like, what distance can it travel?
Now, I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I have not measured it. I don't even know how to measure it. But because of my research and my understanding how it works, there's so many unseen things that are happening in our lives. We really can't really see them, and I haven't measured them. So I just kind of use my common sense, in the sense that if I have a small piece, like my smallest pyramids, I suggest people put them in their cars, because that's a small area, and I'm feeling that it could cover that area. And I found, in my experience, I think it did cover the area for me when I had my pyramid. And then if you're talking about a room, then I'm thinking, okay, you would get a larger pyramid, So it's not an exact science for me. It's more or less about concepts. I understand the concepts of fiber optics. I understand the concepts of orgonite and things of this nature. So I just kind of combined, all of this information, this knowledge, to come up with something that's like uniquely me, which is audronite. And so that's why I called it Audrey, because it is my version of orgonite, just in a digital form.
I love that. I'm so glad that you broke that down for us, especially because I didn't know, this. I don't know, a techie person or a tech person, but you actually worked with scientists.
Quantum physicists. As a matter of fact, of all the people that worked on the project, I was the only one without a PhD.
Wow, that's amazing. And you were just blessed to be in that energy and be around that type of knowledge and learn what you did and harness the energy that you did just from being in that type of environment.
Yes, and I learned so much from working around these scientists. But you have to be careful when you're working around people with their PhDs and MIT graduates and things of this nature, because sometimes they can be a little bit condescending, maybe. But you just learn how to talk to them, because they're just so full with their technical knowledge. It's hard for them to bring it down to the layperson's level. So you have to kind of work with them to get an understanding of what they're talking about, because they're so used to talking on such a higher technical level. It's hard to bring it down to our level.
That's beautiful. So let's talk about your passion. Like what's the most passionate part of creating these or audronites? I would just say you are the inventor of the Audrey-nite.
Yes, it's like a version of my name, Audra. It's not Audrey-nite, because I didn't think that flowed so well. So I kind of changed the ending of it and just let it go with Audra-nite.
I like Audrey-nite. That flows a whole lot better. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. But my passion for this was because there was so much negativity out here that I could see, and I just knew for every yin there's a yang. And once I understood that, it didn't matter how much negativity I saw. What I was searching for was how do we connect with that positive energy? Because as much negative energy is out there, there's as much positive energy, but we don't concentrate. It's whatever we put our attention on, that's what's going to become our reality.
Yes.
So I started to look for, okay, how do we tap into the negative energy?
Right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, into the positive energy. Yes, And it just so happened that the universe put me in a place where the things that I was most interested in were just kind of like put in my lap.
Yeah.
You know, it was like unbelievable that these things, how did I end up in the physics department working on quantum physics, where, you know, most people, you say the word quantum physics and it scares them, just the words, you
Right.
know.
It's intimidating for some.
Yes,
Just
very
the
much
word
so.
itself, quantum
Yeah.
physics.
And it was intimidating for me too. As a matter of fact, when I first started, the only question I really asked them is, do I have to know any physics in order to do this job?
Uh-huh.
And they said no. So I said, okay, because that's not my area. But as I, you know, got into it and started to understand what they were doing, I got fascinated by it. And
Wow.
it became my passion, because what it did was it gave me um, uh, the idea that we could possibly individually actually change our environment, change what we're, you know, the energy that we're living in as individuals. And
Yes,
that
absolutely.
excited me to be able to think that there was something I could do myself, and I didn't have to depend on someone else, or someone else, and someone else, you know, because it seems like we're always looking for a leader, and instead of thinking about the things that we can do ourselves to change. And I think the
Absolutely.
changes that we make are more powerful or more expansive than we ever can imagine.
Yeah, because we are the leaders. We are, I like to say that those of us who are into higher consciousness, that we are the new age leaders. We
Yes,
are the new thought leaders,
yes,
leading humanity into a new era as far
absolutely.
as, raising your consciousness, you know, learning about the law of attraction, self-empowerment, even our wellness when it comes to health and wellness. Like, there's so many things that we can do naturally to
Yeah,
improve our health and wellness. And
absolutely.
this modality here with the organized and the Audrey nights are just cutting edge to me. They're leading edge, even though they may have been around for a long time, but
Yeah,
we know about them.
yeah,
I was in my late 30s when I first even heard the word organite.
yes,
You know what I
yes.
mean? So
Yes, absolutely. And the scientist who came up with it, Wilhelm Reich, he was talking about this in the 1930s. You
wow,
know,
that's amazing.
and what happened was that he was pretty much persecuted by the government. He was put in jail, and because of his inventions, because they would call him a quack, and they burned his books. They put him in jail, and the week before he was supposed to get out, he had a heart attack and died.
Well, that's okay because his legacy has lived on, right? He's
Yes,
probably even reincarnated
yes, absolutely. As a
by
matter of fact,
now, and just
he
picking up
still
the
has
wisdom.
an audio of him. You can find it on YouTube, of an audio of him speaking about this back then in the 1950s, and basically saying that what he's talking about was for future generations, and we are
Wow,
those generations that he was talking about, that would pick
absolutely.
up his research and understand what he was doing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
And I'm
we're
so
here.
grateful that there's so many of us who are awakening, and doing
Yes,
this work, this awakening work, this journey. And it's just, I mean, just discovery after discovery after discovery. And I just think that when the time is right, the right people will awaken and learn what it is that they're supposed to learn, so that they
absolutely.
can evolve and, help other people and, improve their
Yes.
own lives in the process of all of that.
Yes. And I think that's what we're here for. I think that's what we're supposed to do. Those of us that are starting to see, that things are not as they appear. And it's up to us to kind of spread the word and get people to know that we don't have to depend on others in order to change things. We can do it ourselves.
Right. Take your life in your own hands because
Yes,
you are the one that's
absolutely.
in control.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what it comes down to. It's not up
Yes.
to
Yeah.
anybody else. It's up to you.
Yes, and we can do it, and then that's the thing, because I think we've been taught so much that we don't have the power to do things, and it's time for us to empower ourselves, and start to
Absolutely.
take control of things.
Absolutely. So,
Hmm.
what else can the organize and the Audra nights do for us?
Oh my gosh, there's just this. Organite is such an amazing thing because it all depends on the individual. You can never, like, sometimes people come to me and when I'm selling my pyramids, and they'll say, well, what can I expect, if I get one? And I tell them, I have no idea.
Right.
Because your life is totally different from mine or anyone else's, and how it interacts with you depends on what's going on with you, or your vibration, your frequency, all of these things. All I can tell you is you tell me.
Wow.
You tell me what happened when you got your pyramid. Did anything happen? I just want to know, because the feedback that I have been getting has been unbelievable. I mean, these are not stories that I'm telling people. These are stories that they're telling me.
Yeah. What are they? Tell us.
Okay. Well, okay. Now, let me give you, I'm going to give you an example that involves me, first of all.
Sure.
Okay. I was visiting my mom, and I was leaving her house, and I was driving down I-75. I'm in the fast lane. I'm going really fast, and I'm in the zone. I'm thinking about something in my head. All of a sudden, traffic comes to a dead halt, and I know that I don't have enough time to stop.
Wow.
And I just already know it. And when something like that is happening, in those split seconds, you can see so many things. I saw the crash. I saw the insurance. I saw all of these things. Like, oh my goodness, I can't avoid it. So I just stepped on the brake and just pushed it, just waited for impact. Well, basically, as hard as it was for me to believe, I did not hit the car in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious, because I was like, I know that I was fast, but yet I'm right on this bumper and I didn't hit him. So once after I got over the shock, I was like, okay, thank you, happy. Okay, I guess I did have time. So when the traffic started to move again, I put my foot on the gas, and my car goes vroom, vroom, as if it's not moving. Wow. And I'm like, why is my car broken when I didn't even hit him?
Wow.
Well, the bottom line is, I looked down and my car had been shifted into neutral.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe it. I was like, how did that happen? I had, I'm not an Indy 500 kind of driver like that. I'm just straightforward, I don't do anything fancy. So I just felt like there was a protection all around me. And I had my pyramid in my car. And that's just, and I just said, thank you. Whatever was protecting me from that, I said, thank you.
You had a grid around you. Wow. Look at
Yes. So that was one of my experiences. Now I'll tell you about someone else's experiences, and this one is really more on the spiritual side. There was a young lady who worked at a store around my mother's neighborhood, and she was the lottery lady. She saw my pyramids. She really liked them, so she bought one. Fine. And then when I seen her again, she says, oh, I really liked them. I want to give one to my daughter. I said, okay. So I brought her a selection. She got one. Next time I saw her, about a few weeks later, she says, I want to talk to you. I'm like, okay. And she says, you remember that pyramid that you gave me, I got from you, and I said I'm going to give it to my daughter. I said, yeah. She says, well, I didn't give it to my daughter. I gave it to my coworker because she had just lost her son.
Wow.
And she said she felt like she needed the positive energy more than her daughter at the time. Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, that's great. So she says after she gives the lady the pyramid, she comes to work the next day, and she tells her that her son's picture flew off the wall.
Wow.
And I was like, what? She says, yeah. So,
like, what?
I mean, because I didn't say things like that. I mean,
right.
So she says, so when she came into work, she played his birthday. And his birthday was December 3rd. And do you know the lottery came out straight 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
And I looked at her and I said, that was her son telling her that he's okay. And she was like, yes, yes. So the bottom line is that experience lifted some of that weight off of her.
Yes.
When you get that sign, she got a sign, and I could not have said, here, give her this pyramid, and then her son is going to give her a sign, and she's going to feel better. And, I couldn't have told you that what was going to happen. I said, I don't know, but I know there's an energy here. So let's see what it does for you. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if you experience something. And everyone who I get feedback from, they'll even say, I just love my pyramids. I just love it. And I can just hear it, the energy. I'm like, oh yeah, it's working. You know, and some of them will give me actual stories. I'm like, wait a minute. What happened? Like the lady at the lottery store. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, so yeah.
With her son. You know, it's amazing. This is talking about divine intervention for a minute here. We always get divine intervention.
Yes.
And, you know, our spirit guides, our passed on loved ones, they're always present. They're always there with us. It's just sometimes we need a medium or a conductor, you know, such as the organite to connect.
Yeah, and I think that's the way it happened. I think that's what I mean about how, you know, I connected with the lady at the lottery machine. It was about her. It was about her daughter, but something intervened. Something said, nope, you know, don't take this way.
So guess what? You know what I'm thinking?
What?
I'm thinking this organite is like a portal, like an energy portal.
Yes.
To other dimensions, to the spirit realm.
Yes.
That's actually what I'm feeling right now.
If you heard the many stories the strangest stories that people have told me, and I've experienced myself, even if you don't know what it is, you know that there is something going on here. And even if you can't explain it, at least you can recognize that, yeah, something's happening. Now, we may not be able to agree on what it is or why it is, but we can agree that something's going on.
You know, I'm actually sitting here thinking, because I'm sitting here with my organites here that you gave me. And I have one of them in front of me on my computer. And then I have my crystals. I have my altar and I have my crystals in front of me. And I'm like, I believe that our crystals and these organites are a gateway to other dimensions. I really do believe that.
Quartz crystals are amazing, fascinating things. I mean, you know, because we these things are around us all the time, but we don't really pay attention to them. We don't really research into them. They're just kind of there. And most people do not know that quartz crystals are used in all of your electronics. All of your electronics have quartz crystals. And that's because quartz crystals are not only transmitters, they are receivers of energy. And it's amazing. It's when you really start to research and look into just our everyday things, like this organite is just layering of metals. And you think, okay, well, what's that? But in actuality, these are atoms that are interacting with each other, and they're just changing the atmosphere around them. It's fascinating. And to me, quantum physics is actually spirit physics.
Oh, now you got me thinking. What?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Our spirit physics?
Is spirit physics, yes. That's what it is. It's like metaphysics, because metaphysics is spiritual physics, basically. And all they're doing is they're speaking in two different languages, but you're saying the same thing. It's just like if someone says, how do you say hello? Bonjour.
Bonjour.
You know, bonjour. And someone in France knows that means hello. But hello means bonjour, but you're saying the same things, but because you're speaking in two different languages, it sounds like you're talking about two different things, but you're not.
Wow.
And that's what I found out, and I was like, OMG. What is going on here? What have these people come? It's just you have to really, really see exactly what's going on and what they're researching and what they're getting into, and you realize they're getting into the spiritual side of things.
And they don't even know it.
And don't even know it. Or they would not acknowledge it. Because then it means like, okay, now we're talking about a whole different ball game when you were telling us everything was physical and, you know, it is what it is. But now you're saying, well, not so much, you know. And I'm
They're
saying, if
like
you,
kids just playing in a playground and playing with this energy, and they don't
yes,
even know what they're doing.
yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And they don't know the things that they're opening up and the consequences.
Portals and
Yes,
spirits and spirit realms and
yes,
dimensions and all of
yes,
that stuff and
all of that stuff. It's
just
true.
wow.
It's happening right now, right over our heads.
Isn't that
You know,
amazing?
so like I said, how I ended up there, to understand what's going on and actually use the information and knowledge that they had in order to pull it out to, us regular people say, because, okay, how can we use this knowledge,
Right.
of
To
these,
improve our
this,
lives.
these, yeah, these different frequencies and all of the things that they're looking into. We as laypersons, we can use that information too, because, it's out here for us also. We just don't feel like it is because we feel like that's physics. That belongs to the scientists. But physics is the study of you.
Yeah, you are a scientist. You are the science.
Yeah, you are the science and the scientist at the
Yeah,
same.
see, you are the organite. It's just in another form. All you're doing is reconnecting with yourself.
Yes,
Hello.
yes,
You are the
absolutely.
organite.
You are the organite, and
You
the
are that
organite is
scientist
you.
who's trying to figure things out. You are
Yes,
the flower outside, the trees, the bushes. You are all
yes,
of that. You are that piece of gold. You are
yes,
that crystal. You are just in a different form. And we're
yes.
all just here playing around, experimenting, and rediscovering ourselves
Rediscovering.
through
That's
all
right.
of these different forms.
That's right.
And isn't it just amazing?
It is. It has just changed my life. Just, I quit Wayne State because I knew I had to do something else. I said, I haven't gained all this knowledge and information just to stay here and just, do the regular, everyday routine. It's like, no, I was given this information for a reason. And I just felt it. And the universe kept telling me, showing me by so many different signs that this is what you need to do. This is not what you're going to do,
Yeah.
and sometimes I was resisting that because who wants to leave their job, with all of this,
Right.
26 years and things of this nature. But sometimes you have to go out there and just take that leap of faith and just go where the universe is pointing and see where it's going to lead. And I
Right.
haven't regretted it. It's been 4 years, and I
Wow.
have not regretted not one moment.
Oh, isn't that just beautiful? Things are always working out for you.
Yes, yes, exactly,
So talk to
exactly.
us about like how can we buy these organites?
Oh well,
Organite.
I have I basically go to different events around the Detroit area and sell my pyramids personally, but I also have an Etsy page where I have some pyramids, and I also do custom pyramids also. So if someone would like a custom pyramid, they can contact me at area code 313-758-1381. And my
Beautiful.
Etsy page would be etsy.com/shop/Audrey Knight Pyramids. So if you put that in, you will be able to go to my page on Etsy and kind of see some of the pyramids that I have available. And you can also order a custom one. But
Beautiful.
in the month of June, I will be in different places. I'll be at the on June 2nd. I'll be at Mike's and Kofa Center in Detroit at their event. I'll be at the Eastern Market in Detroit.
Tell us about that other event. I'm sorry, that first one you mentioned. Where
The
you got
Sankofa Center.
Sankofa Center? Now where's
Yes,
that?
that's in Detroit, on the east side, and it's a school basically that are attempting to teach our children basically a different way of learning. That's more Afrocentric centered,
Okay.
and so
Uh,
it's like a fundraiser where they have an event, and so I'll be one of the vendors there.
what day?
It's on June 2nd.
June 2nd. That's next weekend.
Yes, yes,
Super.
yes. I'll be there next weekend, and then
What
on June
time?
3rd.
What time?
Uh, the Sankofa
Yes.
goes from 10 to 4, 10
Okay.
a.m. to 4
10 to
p.m.
4. Detroit East
And
Side. Okay.
yeah,
Michigan.
and On Sunday, starting June 3rd, I'll be at the Eastern Market. That's kind of like my stationary place where people know that they can definitely find me on Sundays. Most Sundays anyway, I'd be at the Eastern Market in Detroit, in Shed 3. So I'm
Okay.
there every Sunday. The following Saturday on June 9th, I'll be at the Grass Lake Health and Wellness Expo, and that's in Grass Lake, Michigan.
Now, what day is that?
That's on June 9th, 2018.
Okay. And what's the name of the place?
It's called Grass Lake Health and Wellness Expo.
Now, what's the time?
That one is from 10 to 6, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Beautiful. Okay, now let's go back to the Eastern Market. What's your booth?
Okay, my booth is just Audrey and I. You come into Shed 3.
Okay.
You'll find me right on the end.
Oh, beautiful. And what are your hours and day?
My hours are 10 to 4 on Sundays.
10 to 4 on Sunday.
Yep, every Sunday throughout the summer. I'll be
beautiful.
at the Yep. And except if I have other events, like on June, June is really packed with events, because June 14th through 17th, I'll be at the Allied Media Conference at Wayne State University. So that's a large event where they have just so many vendors for all the students and things of that nature at Wayne State. So I'm going back to my alma mater.
Beautiful. Any other projects you want to share? Any speaking engagements or?
Well, okay. Well, I'll tell you one of the things that I'm really looking forward to, that's just in this beginning stages of working on, is what I'm trying to do is put together a psychic and holistic fair.
Yay!
Detroit area.
Yay!
Yes. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get African American vendors, readers, and things of this nature to come out.
Yeah.
And because a lot of time African Americans, they want to kind of get into this, but they sometimes the comfort level, because they're different vibes, they kind of like to have another person, like themselves, giving them a reading. And I totally understand that when they're just trying to get into it and learn about it. So I'm trying to get all of our holistic vendors and our readers to come out of the closet and come on out and be a part of something that's, positive for us.
Because I love I'm every color of the rainbow. I am all of that. I just wonder, like, people with our culture, we're a minority. Like, every psychic fair I've been to in the last 14 years, like, I've been awakening for 14 years, back when I lived in California in 2004. Excuse me. And so, like, I've always been in a minority. Like, what's
yes.
Where are the people with our ethnic background? The people.
Yes, exactly.
Where are you guys at?
Yes, and I just want to give them a chance,
yeah,
to be in one place and kind of network and kind of get that vibe going, because I truly believe that we have the closest contact with that other side than others, and that just goes on another level, but we can talk about that another time.
That's amazing. Okay, so anything else you want to share?
Well, let me see. I've given you my contact information.
Right?
I'm on Facebook. Yes, please look at Audrey Knight on Facebook. Look me up, and that's AUDRANITE.
Audrey Knight.
Yes.
Now, I just thought about something. Now, I do want to share my experience when I started using my Audrey Knights.
Yes.
The oval shaped ones, the analog. And they are still powerful. The first day you gave them to me, I slept with them. I slept so sound. So sound. I was so peaceful. Like, my whole bed was just so peaceful. And that's what I've experienced so far. And I'm just so grateful.
That's what I love. And that's what I'm saying, because I don't know what you're going to experience. It can go from small to large, but you tell me, I just know.
And my dreams are just like so like vivid and just how do I describe it? They were more profound. They were more, it seems like I was more present. Like, I don't know if I could just remember it better or what that is, but my
Yeah.
dreams were just better dreams.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you notice. So there's your story. So far, that's what you've experienced. And
Yeah.
I love it. It doesn't matter what the story is. It's just tell me,
Yeah.
what it is. Cause I have some stories, my goodness, you just wouldn't believe. I don't believe it, but it happened to me. So I have to believe it.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll do another show. Excuse me.
Yeah. That would be
To talk
wonderful.
more about crystals and energy and
Yes.
organites, and because this stuff
Yeah.
fascinates me. I'm having fun right now. And this is like
Yes.
so cool.
I don't think there's ever been a time in history like this time that we're living in. And I really think that we're very privileged to be here right now.
Absolutely. We have a work to do, so let's do
Yes. Yes.
it. So, Audrey, thank you so much for being a guest on Awakening with Katina Love. We're talking about the power of organites.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for tuning in to Awakening with Katina Love. Namaste.